What's going on out there? I knew I wanted to go live on this channel. I just didn't know exactly what I was going to talk about, but it's plenty to talk about. There's plenty out here to talk about. Okay? Hold on. Where is my. We're going to talk about little Toodie. Little Toodie is bad now. Little Toodie is off the chain, and his father need to get him. Like, what are you doing, Boosie? What kind of parenting are you doing right now? Okay? Um, you're rich now, so you say. So why you got your son acting like a hood rat? For what? Little Toodie acting like a hood rat, y'all. His father's rich enough to get him educated and take him out of this type of mentality. You might as well put your son on the chopping block. Um, where is my remote control for my AC, my fan? Hey, Charlize, honey, these people is acting crazy out here. Like they act like they have no home training. Everybody is off the hook. The children are off the hook. The parents are off the hook. Please spell for me. Spell what, Queen? Listen. I don't know what little Tootsie is doing, Toodie, but Charlston White mentioned little Toodie in his rant against Kanye. I mean, against Boosie, because Boosie had a problem with Kanye saying white lives matter. It could have been because Kanye has a what mindset. His mindset is not like on the same level as most people. So what I think he was trying to say is like they're gonna be victims now instead of us. That's why I think he was saying white lives matter. I don't think he was saying that for the reason that most people say it. I think he was saying it like because he feels like they're in just as much danger as black people. I might be wrong, but that's the way I see it. Because they're getting disrespected just like black people, by the police, authorities, and everybody else. They just don't show it as much as they show it happening to black people. But they are doing the same thing to white people and other races as they be doing to us. So at least you can hear me good. Now, Boosie going at it with Kanye. Um, I think both of them are not in good standing with Massa right now. I don't know if Boosie was set up with this Duke093 thing. Like maybe they just want to take him down and made him be the fall guy. You understand? I don't know. Because I don't really understand how these people work all the time. But something nefarious is going on in the background of all of this. And I don't think that if Boosie did have something to do with Duke the jeweler, he's not gonna get away with it. He's not gonna get away with it. He's gonna get something's gonna happen with Boosie because he's not in good standing with these people. It could be that maybe he tried to do all of this to get back in good standing with Massa, but I don't know, y'all. This thing is real spooky, and they're also trying salute delicate, hey delicate, and they're also trying to say that Duke the jeweler was killed over a female that Boosie was dating, that Boosie didn't get over, and that he was mad because Duke the jeweler was seeing this young lady. But that's not a reason to kill someone. Like it's all these women out here, and y'all got all of these accolades and money. You can get any chick that you want. I don't think that it has anything to do with the chick. I think that's another way for them to try to throw us off of this Duke the jeweler story. Oh, honey, they said Rooga responded to Kanye. That's what they said. I haven't seen it anywhere, but one of these channels was saying that Rooga responded to Boosie disrespecting Kanye West because Kanye West is his mentor and he knows Duke the Jeweler's brother Stacks, that he knew Duke the Jeweler, but he just didn't say anything because he was watching things unfold. I guess they saying that Rooga didn't want to open his mouth and start talking about Boosie being guilty of setting up Duke the Jeweler without really knowing all the facts. But it did come out after Boosie said something about Kanye West because of him wearing that T-shirt, All White Lives Matter. White Lives Matter. So they said Boosie, came out and said something because it is because of Kanye that that Rooga got the chance that he got. He's no longer have to deal with that stuff that's going on in Chicago. He's not right dead center in the middle of it. So that was a blessing. So he's not going to let anybody come out and just say what they want to say about Kanye after he looked out for him like that. I just wish that all of those kids could have been snatched out of Chicago because everybody was just watching what was going on. And it looks like nobody made a move until all these people started dying. Like, this is really scary out here, y'all. It really, really is. Now, Charlston White was going at Boosie, and he was like, you don't want to mess with me, I'll call the cops on you. I'll get you locked up. Now, yesterday, he had a little run-in with some guys that pulled out a gun on him, Charlston White, and showed him the gun. And Charlston White called the cops. Now, you can't get mad at him calling the cops because basically he could say whatever he wants to say out of his mouth as long as he's not putting his hands on anybody. Like, you don't have the right to just pull out a gun on somebody and try to shoot them or whatever you plan on doing because you don't like what they said. These little Negroes is too sensitive. They too sensitive and they want to shoot you for any little thing. Did y'all see the story about the girl that beat her homeboy, her friend that she was helping? He was a dude. She helped him. He didn't, try to help him out. He didn't have nowhere to live or whatever, or they was friends. And they had a basketball game against each other. And he shot her because she beat him and took his kids home and his family home and came back to the park and shot her because she beat him in basketball. This is a little bit too much now. High-profile celebrities are pawns, aren't they? I don't pay them attention. Kanye is confusing. Kanye is confusing, but Kanye is confusing, I believe, sis, because they have him under that MK Ultra. So he's trying to say something, but you got to read between the lines in the codes because he can't come out straight and say what he really want to say anyway. So I think Kanye is a very strong, mentally strong individual because as much times as they tried to throw him in the hospital and throw that MK Ultra on him, he always seems to break out of it. He always seems to break out of it every so often and starts talking. And he mentioned being bullied by the Black entertainment industry. And I believe him because Dave Chappelle said the same thing, that he was being bullied. And they were actually having his credit cards cut off and stuff like that because they didn't like his show, the Dave Chappelle show. They didn't like his show. So they was doing things to him. You know what I'm saying? It's these Black boule artists that think they control everything, that think that since Massa gave them some power, they running stuff. Now, I think I heard about that. I think I heard about that, Delicate. She was driving in a Jeep and he stopped the Jeep and shot her with a shotgun, right? I think I'm gonna have to do a true crime channel too, because every couple of hours I hear about a man killing some woman. And yet some people have the audacity to blame what's going on in the world on Black women. Like, are you serious? This is some sick kind of world we living in. I'm telling you. Every time I turn around. Yeah, Kanye, I think they They MK Ultra'd him, sweetheart. I think they put him under that programming. Because if you notice, every time he has an outburst, they throw him back in the hospital. So women killing men too. Yes, they are. They are. Um, every time Kanye has an outburst and he starts speaking, he winds up in somebody's hospital. So I won't be surprised if we don't hear in a couple of days that Kanye has been put in the hospital. You know, especially after he said, "Now I'm back to shoot up the school." Like he's saying, "Y'all was bullying me, but now I'm coming back. I'm gonna do what I want to do." I think Kanye is tired of them industry folks because they done used him, squeezed all of his music and talent out of him, especially Beyonce and Jay-Z. They used all his talent, and now they don't want to be bothered. They embarrassed now because they done messed them all up, and he doesn't have anything to give them anymore. And Kanye is realizing that, and he's not having it. He's upset. It is wild out here. It's very wild. It's very wild. It's out of control. There's no boundaries, and it's out of control. It's going too far now. Now, okay, little Toodie, whatever his name is. Toodie. What is Boosie's son name? Toodie Raw. He's telling Charlston White he hopes he dies. You know what I'm saying? Which case, Boosie should be the one handling this situation, not little Toodie Raw. Toodie Raw should be in the cut. Let your father handle that, these two grown men. You sit back in the cut and chill. And you too, King. You be quiet too. Let your daddy handle this. They're alive. Charleston White does say things, some really harsh things sometimes, but his basic overall message is true. We don't need gangs. Why do we put these gangs on these pedestals? They're not doing anything but destroying our communities and the minds of our children. We should not be giving them accolades for being gangsters. That's true. But the way he goes about it, I think it's a little insulting, and nobody's going to listen to that. So it's like you're talking for no reason. Like you're just talking to be an adversary. You're just talking to be a devil's advocate. But they're not going to digest it in the manner that you're giving it to them, because you're causing them to have animosity against you instead of listening to your message. So what you're doing is just a waste of time. He's not really doing nothing. I'm scared for Kanye, to be honest. I'm scared for him because that industry is not to be played with, and people are dropping left and right. And I feel like anytime they try to embarrass people and put them on the stage and then try to make them look bad, I just feel like they're ready to just get rid of them now. And Bobby Brown's family has come out, his nephew and his aunt, talking about Bobby Christina, Whitney Houston, and Bobby Brown Jr., that they were all murdered. And that Bobby Brown's wife is trying to keep everybody away, and how she took over Bobby Christina's foundation. Bobby Brown's name is not even on the foundation. It's all her family is on, and her people is on the foundation. And she didn't even like Bobby Christina, from what I'm hearing from the family. But they're just going to all sweep what the Browns are saying under the rug by saying they just want money, and everybody's going to ignore what they're trying to say, because they're going to make it seem like they're clout chasing, and they just want money, when these people just really want to get this out there. They said that this is what I find strange about the whole Bobby Christina situation. They said that some people that were allowed access to her room shouldn't have been in her room. Where was the people that? How did a fake nurse get to care for Bobby Christina? She wasn't a regular civilian. Her parents are Bobby Brown and Whitney Houston. So how was it that some woman got around her that was not a real nurse, and she was pretending to be a nurse? How did that happen? How did Christina Bobby Christina starved to death, but all of that family and people that were going in and out of her room, why was that allowed to happen? I don't know. But I do know that's some wicked ass shit. And I am very glad that that family is talking. Everybody's scared to talk. They don't want to lose their money. They don't want to lose their house and their car, just like Kanye said. But people have to get out there and start telling the truth here, because this is out of hand. All of this stuff is out of hand. And every time somebody has something to say, it has to go on the internet. Why don't you just talk to each other like human beings if you have something to say to each other? Talk to each other. Why does when it goes online, it exacerbates the whole situation and it makes it 100 times worse. But everybody's looking for a check, and it's like y'all just acting like a bunch of animals out here. It's disgusting. I think what happened to Duke the Jeweler is unacceptable, and I hope somebody goes to jail. I'm sorry. Somebody needs to go to jail for Duke the Jeweler, because that guy built himself up from being a regular person to becoming a almost world-renowned jeweler. And you killed, and these dudes killed him. He wasn't a gang member. He wasn't out there talking about bodies and murdering nobody. He wasn't even involved in none of that. So for him to get gunned down, somebody needs to go to jail. Somebody got to go to jail for this one. That is unacceptable. That's unacceptable. And I was doing a live and I was talking about Duke the Jeweler. And on my recording from me being online like this, on my live, I heard a voice coming into my live. And that's the second time that this has happened to me. Because when Tupac Shakur's friend died, Sanika Shakur, Monster Cody, I was talking about him, and he came through when I was talking about him on his door on a live. And it's on my page. I put it up here. I put it on this page. I took both of them and I put them up here. So this doggone internet is some type of portal going on with this. Some type of frequency here, because they be crossing trying to talk through the fucking frequency of the internet. Because I don't ever hear nothing when I'm not on the internet. It's only when I'm on the internet I hear these things. And right after someone passes away. It's the second time that happened to me, y'all. I don't know what they be trying to say though. And Master Cody sounded like he was trying to tell me that they was lying, that they didn't find him in no camp by himself. That's what it sounded like he was trying to tell me. And it sounded like Duke the Jeweler was trying to tell me something too, but I can't make out what he was trying to say. But that just shows me also that right when they pass away, they don't cross over immediately. They're still here, lingering, especially if they was murdered. So their spirit is not crossing over. That shit is true, y'all. I'm telling you, that shit is true. It's amazing. It's amazing. We really exist here, and there's frequencies and stuff that we can't access because we don't have a high enough frequency to access it. But when you're on the internet and all these portals are open and all these different frequencies and stuff, I can hear them. And I put it up here. I took both of the snippets from the lives and I put it up here because I want y'all to listen to it and tell me what y'all hear, because I'm hearing things in my lives. When I get off and I listen to it, I don't hear it while I'm here. I hear it when I go back and listen to it again. So that means it's coming through, and it only happens when I'm on the internet. So there's a detective that was speaking on what happened to Duke the Jeweler, and I think he was pretty precise in what he was saying. he said basically the same things that I was saying, but um, it's too much going on, y'all. It's a lot going on that I don't even know how to explain. I wish that I could explain it to y'all, but I really just don't know how to articulate it. But once I learn how to articulate it, y'all, I'm gonna break that shit down to y'all real good. I'm gonna just do a whole video and just break it down. But Boosie, listen, I like Boosie too, y'all. Don't get me wrong. I like Boosie. I like sometimes the things he say. I think he's bold. He says things that other people are not saying right now. But this situation with Duke the Jeweler, he's the one that put the spotlight on himself because of the things that he was saying and the way that he was moving and the things he didn't say. Because he never once said, "Rest in peace, Duke the Jeweler." Not one time. None of them. None of them. And he lied. He lied and said that he didn't know him. And he did. So it sounds like you was just trying to create a narrative to get everybody off your back. And when you lied and did that, and then it started coming out that you do know him, and now everybody's getting sidetracked and because of the stuff going on with Kanye, the stuff going on with him arguing with whomever. That doesn't remove from me. I'm not gonna forget this Duke the Jeweler thing. I'm not gonna forget that. Now, if he was a gang member and he was doing some shit in the street or whatever, okay, that comes along with the game. But when you do this to a young man that built himself up like that and did something as phenomenal as Duke did, or some civilian shit, like just using his brain, just being intelligent, and he went out there to do business and he got killed by some dirty nigga. No, no. We can't let that happen. Because that could be any one of our kids that we raised to do something good. Now, if you choose that lifestyle, like I said, it comes along with it. But this young man went out there to do business and he got gunned down like a piece of garbage because they wanted what he had. That was just from pure hating on him. Or from people feeling like they're going to lose business because his jewelry was so spectacular. Maybe if his jewelry wasn't so dope, y'all, they wouldn't have felt so threatened by him. But this guy's, even if you did steal his jewelry and try to wear it, you can't wear it because it's so different from the rest. You're gonna know, people gonna know that's his pieces. It doesn't look like the rest of those pieces. It makes the rest of these people's pieces look like nothing. That's how fly this guy's jewelry was. You got any friends, or anybody that's listening to this broadcast? You tell me if you have any friends that said some shit like they want to be a jeweler and they actually did that shit. Imagine that. You sitting with, I know you've all had conversations with your family members and your friends on ideas how to make money and not have to work for nobody and just do your own business to whatever capacity it is. Now imagine you getting there and you trying to do business and they fucking kill you because they jealous. Whether it was over a girl, whether it was over because he won the dice game, whether it was over because he had all that jewelry or all that money or access to money and jewelry. He was supposed to be protected at all costs by any level of us, any level of our being, the hood, anybody. And once that fiber is broken, where we're not distinguishing anymore who's in the game and who's not, because this was business. I don't care if he was flossing. Who knows? People probably told him bring some pieces with you so you could sell it because he's thinking he's going around a bunch of guys that can afford his merchandise. He didn't know it was going to be a bunch of hungry ass Negroes in there where he was gambling at. He's thinking he's going to do some business. But let me tell y'all something. When stuff like that happens to a person like that, karma is the worst get back ever. I'm telling y'all, karma is the worst get back. No human being can exact karma on people the way the natural elements, the universe does. Nobody. And I have proof of that. I have proof of that. I've seen that more than once in my life, even in my own personal life with people. What people have done, the people who killed my son's father, they lost two of their family members a couple of months after. I didn't have nothing to do with it. My people didn't have nothing to do with it. But that was just karma. And the person that killed my son's father was the one that found the bodies. Two of he felt what I felt twice. Because I had the opportunity. They called me and told me, we know where they at. We know who did it. What do you want us to do? And I said, don't, that's not my call. I don't decide when somebody lives or dies. And I was 21 or 22 years old. But something, this is brewing, and it's a bad energy. And I just hope somebody else don't get hurt no time soon. But of course it's going to happen because these people is on a rampage and they doing what they got to do in the name of their religion. And people are going to continue to be deaf, dumb, and blind and not understand what's really taking place and participate in that shit. But I don't want Rooga to get involved. I just want Rooga to play cool like he has been. I need for at least one of them to have some type of common sense and not be going back and forth with people online. I need one of them to be like that. I need one of them to show some type of maturity because this shit is ridiculous. Oh, wow, delicate. I just, the only way this type of stuff is going to stop is people have to get smarter. And I have to say, I'm not going to lie. More people than I thought realize what Boosie is about. That because these kids is getting on these panels and they like, look, what the F is going on right now with Boosie? Because this is like his 9th or 10th body. I didn't even know that he was associated with. Yeah, Ruga's very intelligent, and I need for him, like I really need for Rooga to set the tone now and set a different type of example for the people that's watching him. Like I really need him to be different from the rest of these dudes. I really do. Because somebody have to have some type of decency and common sense. Because these are dudes that have all this money. Why is Kanye so miserable and he's worth $9 billion? People have to ask themselves that type of question. What would make a $9 billion dude miserable? Something ain't right up there, y'all. Something ain't right up there. I hope Rooga doesn't get involved and start going back and forth with these Boosie people and all these people. Because I really don't want to see that. But I just wanted to jump up here. Y'all know I don't stay up here for long. I just get up here and talk my shit. Toodie low, Toodie raw. You need to sit his ass down. You need to get your son, Boosie. Don't let your son be out here running the street like a gangster. What the fuck is wrong with you? Don't you see all the rest of these people getting killed? You want your kid to get killed out there? Because they ain't nowhere to run and hide no more. And you too, T.I. and Tiny, get your son. He's bugging. Get your son. I hope Kanye doesn't wind up in the hospital. I hope Charlston White. Leave Charleston White alone, y'all. He ain't playing with y'all. He's not playing. He will call the fucking cops on you. Okay? Rest in peace once again to Duke the Jeweler. I hope his case gets solved. And who else did I have up there? Oh, the Whitney Houston. Y'all need to check out Bobby Brown's sister page and his nephew Shane's page. His page is called Shots of Brown. Y'all need to check that page out. He even explained the time when he got stabbed up by BMF. Y'all gotta listen to Shane. Shane got a lot of stories to tell. He's been through a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I see a lot of men going mental about women and the children they have with them. I see a lot of men going mental, but I see a lot of women too. Like it's both genders. Like no, everybody's bugging the fuck out. I don't know if it's post-pandemic shit. I don't know, but it's like people don't know how to handle themselves. Like everybody wants to jump on the freaking internet and discuss their problems. Now, listen, if I get popular and people start attacking me, because anytime you become popular on the internet, people attack you. I'm not getting up here arguing with nobody. For what? I'm not doing that. I'm coming up here to talk to my people who are like-minded like me. If you're not like-minded, just don't come here. That's all. It's 99,000 other pages that probably feel the way you feel. But women, yes, sis, women and men is bugging the fuck out right now. Like there's no balance. There's nobody setting an example, and unfortunately, on television and entertainment, because that's where everybody pays attention, that's really sitting on a pedestal and holding their position down with some grace and some class. There's no more of that shit. Everything goes on the internet. I did like the way Kevin Gates and Charlston White handled their thing. That was a good thing to look at. You need positivity wherever you can get it. But when I seen Toodie Raw up there talking about jail, you need to die, you old man, and this and that. Listen, I know he said he hope you go to jail, but you wilding. You look like you a menace to society. That's why he said that. You look like you're becoming a menace to society, Toodie Raw. And your daddy's sitting there letting you become this way. But anyway, I gotta go to the office tomorrow, y'all. I haven't been to my office I work for in like 2 years. But I gotta go up there in the morning and I gotta get in the train. So I gotta make all my weapons. I gotta get all my weapons ready. Because if one of these kooky people on the New York City subway decides to come my way, it's not gonna be pretty. Y'all will see me on the news tomorrow. It's so hard for people to live. Inflation, social media. Girl, it is. Listen, in my whole 53 years, I have not had it like I'm living, but the extras that I used to have, like I don't have anymore. And I was always could find a way where I could supplement my income and have enough money to pay my bills and do what I want to do. But nowadays, because New York City is super expensive. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's a nice apartment, but it's still in the hood. It's a beautiful apartment though. And it's $1,750 plus utilities. I gotta pay for electric. I gotta pay for my heat. I gotta pay gas. Then you got your internet service, your phone bill, your food. Let me tell y'all something. You know how much it costs for a loaf of bread in New York City right now? $4 and $5. Eggs, $5. Oatmeal is almost $7 fucking dollars in New York City. So the money that I was striving to make, I made that. But as soon as I started making that, all the fucking the electric went up, the gas went up, the rent went up. It's like, what the is this a plot? I just told my seeds living life changed. It has changed drastically over the past 6 years, 7, 8 years. It has changed drastically. And if I tell y'all how much I make, y'all will say, oh, she made good money. No. Not with all the bills you have to dish out. No, you got to be making over $100,000 to live comfortably in New York City. Hold on, y'all. My laptop is dying. And I always was able, like, I got to really step my game up. Like, shelves be empty. I don't know, y'all. We might have to change our eating habits. All that eating meat and shit, we're going to have to change up all of that shit. Because they're going to try to starve us out. See, this is really, I find this to be the timing of all this, the timing of them with the coming with the food shortage, the water disappearing in certain places like in Iraq, a whole river, the Euphrates River, no water. When Florida had that hurricane the other day, they said it wiped out a whole bunch of water in a whole riverbank. Um, the food shortage, I seen when all the cows was dying. I don't think those cows just died. I really believe those cows were killed. Um, the price of food alone, jobs. Now, let me give y'all an example of how fucked up these industry people are. Jay-Z just donated $16.5 million to robotic chefs, like a robot that can cook a burger instead of a person. Do you know how many jobs is going to be lost? Why did he take that $16.5 million to try to get some program or something for poor people or something? Why would he take that and that $16.5 million and invest it in something like that? So what they want us to do is go crazy out here on these streets on each other. That's what they want us to do. Because it ain't gonna be no food, it ain't gonna be no money. They letting all the prisoners out. I know y'all thinking, yeah, they let the prisoners out. No, they letting them out because where they gonna work out? How they gonna get money? Ain't no money in the streets like it used to be when they was in the streets. You can't even make weed money that much now because they got dispensaries. They done covered. And they took over the numbers with the lotto. Toilet paper hard to find. They took over the numbers with the lotto. They took over the weed game with the dispensaries. Forget about cocaine. That shit ain't even real cocaine no more. That's fentanyl. They got fentanyl out there. You sell pills, you're going to jail. You can barely get that. I saw a video the other day where this man walked into the drugstore and just went in the back of where all of the pharmaceutical people are, and just went in there and took all the codeine that they had. Took all the bottles of codeine. No, it ain't just Chicago, because let me tell you something. In New York City, in Buffalo rather, this young lady got killed by her husband. And he was arrested. She had gotten him arrested, but they released him with the no bail policy. So didn't they say the no bail policy was just going to be in Illinois? Well, that shit just happened in Buffalo. So they're not telling us the whole truth. It ain't just Chicago. They doing it in several cities. And these people, when they come home, they ain't gonna be, even if you don't live in the hood, they not just gonna be trying to rob people in the hood. They're gonna be robbing y'all diamond people up there in the diamond district. You people out there with the houses, they're gonna be breaking up out, going to these suburban areas because they know people in the hood ain't got no goddamn money. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Delicate. A couple of my friends did too. So where we gonna go? Now we gotta go get guns and stuff to defend ourselves. You understand? Because they letting all these, they said 65,000 people. Where they 65? I mean, it's not going to be just in one state. It's going to be spread out all over the Americas. But with them taking jobs, like the easy jobs, that these guys could come home and do and make them, but how they going to pay their rent? How can somebody who has a felony come home and get a job, right? If you're going to release them, you might as well take the felonies off there, expunge them from their records, because you're releasing these people with felonies. Where they going to work at? The rent is high as hell. That's why down south you got all of this crime going on, because the city people are moved down south because they can't afford to live here no more. Now you letting everybody out. It's not going to be no jobs. Where these people going to work at, y'all? How they going to eat? Where they going to live? I'm starting to see more and more weirdos every day when I go outside. But I do live in an area where there's some kooky, it's a little places over here where they keep certain people. So I guess maybe that's it. Let me not say that the world is just insane. But it looked like it is if you look at social media. Shit. If you look at social media, you would think the world was insane. Yeah, warehouse jobs is paying $18 an hour and up. Some of them is paying up to $30, $40 an hour. But I'm just saying, don't be fooled by them releasing all these prisoners. It looks like they trying to set us up. You releasing, then you start telling us, well, if somebody breaks into your house, it's nothing we could do about it. You just have to figure it out yourself and do what you got to do and decide what you're going to do about it. Well, a lot of people going to be getting clapped because people ain't going to be having nobody sitting on their porches, sleeping in their hammock in the back of the house. People is going to start clapping people. But anyway, let me get out of here, y'all. I just wanted to talk real quick and just spill my guts out. But it's gonna be a little chaotic out here when all these people come home and they can't get no job. How they gonna eat? Yeah, and I still see them people jogging at 6 a.m. Girl, sometimes I wanna, cause I wake up super early, delicate, and I wanna sometimes go outside at like 6:30 in the morning. And I'd be like, I don't know if I should do that. You know what I'm saying? I should wait till the doggone sun come up. Now I have to get on a train tomorrow because I gotta go to my job. And I probably have mace, a hammer, and some more shit with me. Cause somebody gonna get hurt if they try to fuck with me on that train. The train is crazy over here. Oh girl, I just gotta go tomorrow. And listen, if I get too anxious about it, I will call them and say, look, we're gonna have to do this meeting online because I'm not going out there on that train. I'm not going. So what you gonna do about it? Um, so just say a prayer for me that I don't have to take nobody out on the New York City subway tomorrow because I will beat somebody to a pulp with that damn little hammer I got in my pocketbook. And I got my mace. And I'm taking my little pointy scissors with me. I will stab you. I will spray you and stab you. But anyway, boo, I'm gonna take my behind and get ready for tomorrow. I see a couple of videos coming up that I want to watch too. I see by the titles they're gonna have me laughing. But Delicate, you have a good night. Thanks for coming through, hanging out with me, sis. Yes, I'm gonna pray for you too. We gotta pray for each other, girl. We gotta look out for each other out here, because that's how it's gonna be. And you know what? Let me just say this before I leave. Let me just put this out there in the universe. It could be that because remember I was telling y'all that before they do things to us, they gotta tell us. Like we still have some type of authority. We just don't understand the authority that we have. So being that I think that they set up all these police shootings and stuff for us to not like the police and for us to want the police to go away, thinking that if they leave us all to go out on each other, we're gonna take each other out. But I don't think it's gonna happen like that, y'all. I think that the communities are gonna get together and they're gonna be policing their own doggone areas. So let's pray on that too, Queen. You playing Call of Duty? I'm getting ready to go get something to eat because I done lost my appetite the past couple of days, and I gotta make sure that I stuff my face. I like to keep my little weight on me. So have a blessed night, Queen, and thanks for hanging out with me. I'll be back up here tomorrow probably. I'm trying to build this channel. Peace and love.